So I just saw Jujutsu Kaisen Zero in the theaters and also again on Crunchyroll, which is the prequel movie to the Jujutsu Kaisen series. Now, honestly, I never saw the entire series, but I did see the first episode in dub, which is incredible, which we see how this movie acts as a prequel to the series, which shows the protagonist Yuta Okkotsu, who's actually transferred to a new school where we knew how he's trying to battle an evil sorcerer who's trying to create a world for sorcerers. So here's the movie review, which the movie begins with Yuta being bullied by the bullies, which we knew how they tried to attack him. But however, his curse have actually been unleashed, which the bullies have been injured severely and stuffed into lockers, in which he knew that he called out to the spirit called Rika. That is when we knew how the Jujutsu Society actually wanted him executed, in which the same room that he is in is exactly the same room that Yuji Itadori is in when he actually swallowed the finger of the demon that possessed him, by which we knew how Gojo Satoru have actually convinced them to let him join the Tokyo Jujutsu High, by which we knew how he doesn't want to go, but he doesn't have a choice, which we knew how he'll have to learn to control his spirit energy. That in which we see how 6 years ago, how he and Rika were childhood friends, in which they promised to get married when they grow up, knowing that they will actually will. However, we knew how Rika was killed in a traffic accident, knowing that the fact that we see how her spirit transformed into a cursed spirit, which is overprotective. So now we see how he meet the other students as well, with far more abilities than him, which are Maki Seden, the cursed weapon master, Toji Ino, Inomaki, the cursed speech user, who only speaks in rice bowl ingredients, which makes it easier for him to say, and Panda, which of course, the talking animal, in which we knew how when they first met him, they felt the surge of cursed energy surging around him. And knowing that they don't trust him, which he actually has to learn to break the curse himself. That in which we see how Yuta teaming up with Maki in his first mission, knowing that the fact that the curse is actually kidnapping children, two at least, in which they're about to find the curse and exorcise it, which we knew how they're both been captured by the curse, in which they found the kids, which they actually dying. And of course, we see how Maki was injured, seeing that the curse actually injured her, which the eyes have actually come out of her injuries, in which he summons Rika, knowing that she saved them from the curse. In which in the hospital we see how Rika and Yuta meet in the hospital, which is another backflash of what happened, in which we see how 3 months have already passed, which Kojo have given him a weapon that will imbue his cursed energy into the sword, in which he trains with Maki, which he became real close to her. And then one day on the mission with Inomaki, we see how he got the throat medicine to actually help him with a curse, and which is a high level curse, knowing that we see how someone is responsible of releasing the attacks, and that which is happens to be the work of a sorcerer named Gito Suguru, who's a former student of the school. However, he was banished after killing over 100 people who are innocent and non sorcerers, in which we knew how he wanted to create a world where these sorcerers can live and non-sorcerer humans can actually be killed. That in which he declared war on the sorcerers, which the teachers have actually caught the threat, knowing that they will actually realize that he is a serious threat, in which the fact that he actually have the ability to absorb spirits, in which we knew how Yuta talking with Maki about her family and her jujutsu, knowing that the fact that she was a failure to them, and of course we see how they've also knew the fact that she using the glasses to see spirits because of her eyes could not see. That in which we see how these sorcerers are preparing for war. But it was all a ruse for them to be distracted while Gito is going to kill Yuta and absorb Rika because her powers are more important. That in which we see how these sorcerers are battling the monsters while Panda, Maki, and Inomaki have been taken down by him. But we knew how Yuta is summoned Rika to battle Gito, in which they began to heal their friends, in which we see how Yuta using the Inomaki curse technique on the curses. And that is which we see the Kyoto students have arrived and joined in the battle, in which we knew how we see Yuta actually thanking Rika for all their help, in which we knew how they are going to finish the battle when he promised Rika to sacrifice himself to her, which with their full power they were able to wound Gito fatally, as the war has finally won by the sorcerers, knowing that the fact that he is later dying, which Gojo realized that they've been friends for a long time, and for the idea that drove them apart is the reason for all this happened, because we knew that he would say goodbye and thank him for sparing the students, and which ending his life. Meanwhile, we see how Yuta woken up knowing that Rika is there, surrounded by his friends, which she returned to her human form, which Gojo have made his theory correct, because he was also the one who cursed her, making him the distant relative of a all-powerful sorcerer, which we knew how he won't accept her death and forcing her to remain at our side. However, he felt pity of the fact that he does that all the time, which letting her go and breaking her path, which we see how he continued to be a sorcerer in training while wearing the engagement ring. And also, during the post-credit scene, we see one of Gito's former allies, Miguel, is having lunch with Yuta in Kenya, knowing that Gojo is joining them as well, which we knew how they became friends. Now, this movie actually acts as a prequel, but I really enjoy everything about it, despite that we see how this actually show what the movie is like before the series actually began back in 2020. So we're actually new how all of this actually happened. I haven't saw season one yet, but only 2 episodes. However, I cannot wait for season two to come out very soon in 2023. So I'm so excited to see it. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the anime movie review. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr, and my Facebook page and Twitch. Till then, this is Anime Guide right here saying signing out. Laters and be safe.